Husker fans, thanks for tuning into this video. By now, you guys know who we are. We're going to get right into this here. Some of the things that we noticed while watching the game, just some of it's just trivial points, opinions, different views. Maybe
a little over-analyzing, over-exaggerating.
But that's what we do. That's what we get to do. Adi Kunalik will lose touchbacks this year. This guy is still booting them 3, 4, 5 yards into the end zone, but no one is afraid of our kickoff coverage team. I think a stat from last year is very misleading because Adi was actually kicking the ball further, but he's not going to be third in the country this year in touchbacks because everybody knows they can get the ball past the 20 on our kickoff coverage team.
See, I don't think that at all. I don't think anyone's afraid of our kickoff team. I just think we were playing a team this last game that was desperate to make something happen, and I really think they were going to return everything no matter what. As long as their foot wasn't right by the edge of the back of the end zone, I think that guy was going to return it anyway.
And I think when other teams see the success that they had, I think they'll copy it.
See, I don't think there will be. Okay. I think it's just like a first game thing. You're gonna make mistakes. Last year we had the best kickoff coverage team in the nation. I forget what the stat was, but I think it was around 18 yards per return. And we still have our two big guys back on our special teams. The guys that I always saw making plays in our kickoff coverage, and Eric Martin and Graham Stoddard. And I got to point out Graham Stoddard is from Lincoln, Nebraska. And I think our kickoff coverage is fine.
I think it's whack.
I think it's fine.
The defense is faster. This is one of the fastest defenses I think Nebraska's ever had, but they are small. That back seven people, look out. That is a tiny outfit. There's not a lot of strength there.
Yeah,
These guys are going to have a hard time once we get into conference play because, face it, without Big Sue up there, there's going to be more required of the linebackers in the secondary to come up and help with run support.
Which Matt O'Hanlon and I think Asante, I know you hate him and I kind of do too, but they helped in run support, especially Matt. Matt really helped in run support.
Towards the end of the year, he came on.
But you know,
you saw very early yesterday Denard and Gomes on the first couple of plays of the game smacking people right at the line.
I'm not worried about Gomes getting up there because he was up there a lot last year.
Yeah.
There were times last year where he did line up as a linebacker, and even sometimes in the Western Kentucky game he did.
But it does concern me that the defense is really small.
They're
I'm kind of worried about them wearing down.
Levante David's way faster, more athletic than Philip Dillard, but he's smaller.
Yeah.
Gomes and Smith, or Gomes and all the other safeties, they're smaller than Asante and O'Hanlon, but they're a lot more athletic.
Yeah.
We have a more athletic defense, but you're right, they're nowhere near the size nor strength of the defense last year.
And that concerns me because when you get into conference play later on in the season and you play against teams that like to run the ball, you know, you're always concerned that when you're that small that your guys will get wore down. The punt team. I don't think this punt return team of ours is going to block a punt this year because they always seem to be setting up the punt return, which is fine.
Which is fine because, I mean, most teams might get 3 or 4 blocks a year, if even that. But teams break off way more returns than that a year, and we have a very dangerous weapon, back returning kicks.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't fumble it to the other team, we'll get into that.
Right. But another point is with 8 on paper, you have 8 seniors starting on offense.
Yeah.
One thing that I guess will be answered as the season goes on is, will 8 starting seniors allow a freshman to lead them? And your quarterback should be your leader.
Well, I think if he keeps putting up the numbers he did on the ground and having the poise in the pocket and putting balls right on people's chest after what we went through last year, I think it'll be just fine.
And as long as he keeps winning.
Yes.
Another thing that just continues to really impress me in this style of offense, which we saw, which debuted last year in the Holiday Bowl.
The holiday bow.
The holiday bow. Rex Burkhead is a very special player for us.
Yes, he is.
I still am hung up on Roy Halu. I think that guy is great, but in this offense, I think Rex is. I
think Rex is the guy that is a little more of who the coaches are going to go to. I noticed when we were in the shotgun running sweeps and running the read option, it was more of Rex. Rex was in the backfield more in the shotgun, and then you saw Roy Halu come in more traditional pro sets, like the one back with a couple tight ends and eyes and stuff like that. I think they think Roy is more of like the traditional type of runner, and Rex is more of a shotgun runner. So I think I agree with you that in this offense, I think he'll be used a little bit more.
And the other part of it is, I think in this offense, you're going to see Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead is going to have a game where he's got 10 catches for 100 yards. Because once these guys, the coaches and Taylor Martinez, whoever the quarterbacks are, once they figure out that Mike McNeil is not an option because he can't run routes out of a wide receiver set, the inside of the field is going to be owned by the running backs coming out of the backfield. Another thing I saw is Taylor Martinez. He threw a deep out that was just effortless, and I thought right on the money. It really blew me away. A lot of zip on the ball,
and right there.
Another thing I noticed is the center and guard combo. Not a lot of chemistry there.
There really wasn't, and I saw a lot of times where one guy was supposed to slide over so the other one could chip and get to the next level on the linebacker. That didn't happen, and most of the time that was Caputo, and Caputo just looked a little slower getting up, sealing his man, and letting the guard go over. I saw a couple times Ricky Henry just push the guy right into the backfield. But I think that's stuff that'll get really shored up when you watch video and when the coaches get on him for it. I think that'll be fine as the season progresses.
Yeah. Another thing, Roy Halu punched in that really nice run.
Yeah, really tough. Last year we kind of questioned his heart and his want to a little bit.
Yeah.
No issues there.
Right. And this silly little thing that I constantly see every week, where the running back is allowed to reach out and grab any defender he wants and jerk and pull on his face mask. And as soon as the defender just touches their face mask, they get called.
Absolutely.
Levante David. Woo! He is the guy that I got the most notes on out of anybody. The guy just, I actually was just so impressed with him, it's not even funny.
And then Bo said he made a bunch of mistakes.
Well, that's because he was the one that they asked about specifically. Bo said he made a lot of mistakes, but then did everybody. The things about him is he can't be blocked. He was getting off his blocks. He was everywhere.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Demario Williams. JUCO guy came in right away, made an impact. I think Demario was...
But Demario didn't because he had to share time with one of the Rudes.
Well...
Which... whatever.
Next topic.
One play Levante David tried to make that I was really impressed with was when Western Kentucky scored their touchdown. He's down on the goal line. He's trying to get Crick to move over. Crick doesn't do it, whether Crick was being stubborn, if Crick thought he was in the right place, or the other team just snapped the ball too quick. It turns out that when Levante David was trying to tap him over, Levante David was actually trying to get him lined up correctly. So that was really impressive.
That he just came in and he has that much grasp on the defense already. And plus with his athletic ability, I think we might have an all Big 12 linebacker here, guys.
Over 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Niles Paul.
You gotta stop at 12 before.
12. That's when we...
Just talk.
Niles Paul is still not a wide receiver. This is still an athlete who they're just desperate to get the ball in his hands. Once again, you saw him make one wide receiver play the other day, and that was the ball that the guy really made a break on.
Yeah.
And Taylor Martinez was, he kind of forced it in there, and Niles Paul actually outfought somebody for the ball.
And took it upfield about 15 20
Yeah, that's
yards.
the only wide receiver play he made. Yeah, he can blow by people, and if they float the ball up to him, he can grab it.
Yeah,
but
that's
Niles Paul,
an
you're
athlete
still dropping passes.
Yes.
You're still fumbling the ball because you run with it like a whatever, dude.
Yeah,
and then you come back, and the very next time you touch the ball, you drop it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love the kid. He's got so much talent, but where does this constantly come from?
I really don't know. At times he's pathetic. I mean, he really is.
Well, that's a harsh word.
Well, I'm tired of watching him fumble the ball, drop the ball. At least this time he didn't just look at it. He at least took a couple steps towards the ball.
And quit pissing on buildings.
Yeah, seriously.
Another thing that I just kind of thought of, with the Big Ten, with us going to the Big Ten next year, their defense is known as a little bigger, tougher, but slower.
Yeah.
Definitely slower than the SEC, the Big 12, the Pac-10, and the ACC.
Yeah.
When you got a speedster back there at quarterback, I wonder if that plays into it. If he's let's get this guy seasoned.
I really don't think it does, because Bo has a team right now that, on paper, with the senior leadership and some of the big guys we have as far as talent, this team is geared toward a Big 12 championship. Right now, I don't even think they care about the Big Ten.
Probably not. It was just a thought.
It might a little, but I don't think it has anything to do with it.
It was just a thought. I didn't have no hot sauce on it. It was just a thought. Another thing I saw, Prince had a pretty good goal line pass breakup.
Yeah.
Shows his athleticism. Pierre Allen, I thought, played very hard.
Yeah, he was all over the field.
Always where he was supposed to be. Pierre Allen, man, you've come a long way. I really like that kid. Niles Paul with a fumble. Good gravy.
Yeah.
Dijon
Gomes is by far, he wants it more than anyone else on the team. If we win the Big 12 championship, if we make a run at the national title, he will play a huge role in it. He wants that ball.
He makes more just want-it plays than anybody we've had in a long time. That kid just wants it.
He really does. And one last point before we got to go. Baker Steinkuhler, got to get a little more hungry.
Got to get hungry, Baker.
Big, strong, got to get quicker off the ball, get lower off the ball, and get hungry, and you'll be all right.
All right, we're out.
See you guys later.